Hey everybody, welcome to Diving with Brian and Sarah. Normally I just do my diving videos to music, but I decided to do something different and narrate my way through. So we were diving in the Keys over end of Christmas, beginning of New Year's. It was chilly, it was cold, but it definitely was diveable. But I will tell you that this trip we saw more wildlife than we've seen in a while. This was Davy Crocker Reef, and just it was full of wildlife. The next segment you're going to see actually is one of the most spectacular uh, encounters with wildlife in one short segment. It was just utterly amazing. In our 500 plus dives, I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like it. But just I love looking at the schools of fish that you're swimming with. Now, start off with ran across this moray, gorgeous moray, and then I get bumped by the nurse shark behind me. So he's or she's swimming off to the side. So I decided to go around this little part of the reef and get some good pictures. I love grunts. They're colorful. They kind of tend to group into little schools, and there's always a lot of them. And I just love getting pictures of these guys. I have so many pictures of them, but just love taking pictures. So I popped over the reef, and then I see this nice, very large grouper, and he was just hanging out there. The nurse shark came back, so the grouper goes to swim over by the nurse shark, and so I have nurse shark, moray, and grouper all in one. And then this moray pops out, and I assume that he pops out because he's normally getting fed by people. I can only guess. I wasn't feeding him. But he just came right up to me, and you can see I was holding on to the reef to stabilize myself, and he just came right up and, said hi. Hey, what you got for me? So I kind of waved at him, and he swam off, and then I went back into film again the grouper and the nurse shark. So the grouper's there, nurse shark is under the reef, kind of getting comfortable. Grouper decided to hang out. He's not going anywhere. He just wanted to pose for the picture, which I absolutely love. So very nice sized grouper. And then started to pan over, and honestly, there's another moray. So nurse shark takes off again, goes over the ledge, and come back, and there's another moray. And I know I saw one in the beginning, which was over to the left, but it wound up where there was at least two, if not three morays under this reef, because there's this guy there, and then there's this guy there, which could be the one from, that came over to me the first time. I didn't know if the other one came back, so there may be three, and then there was one on the other side of the reef. So there was just a number of animals right in this one spot. It was just fabulous. I don't think I've ever seen that many things congregated in one spot. Now, what you're going to see in a second, after I finish filming here, I actually wind up going up and over the top of this reef and look down into a hole, and there are 4 nurse sharks in this hole, just hanging out sleeping. So let me pop up and over to that one, and here's these 4 nurse sharks. You see the 1, 2, 3 fins, and to the left you see the 4th one back in the corner. So they just all got in there and decided to hang out, and I guess I can only assume they're sleeping. But that was all within 10 feet of each other, and it was just utterly amazing. And on top of it, you're going to see a number of nurse sharks in this, and it's not the same shark, the same footage. They were all over the place. I don't know if there was a nurse shark convention, but this guy, I think, or girl, usually assume people would, or whatever was nearby, would go away when it kind of pointed at it, and I sat there with the video, but their skin, as you saw, is speckled, and it's really rough. It's like sandpaper. And so she came up and over, and I followed her down a little bit. We're kind of heading back towards the boat at this point, And so I see this nurse shark, then I head more back towards the boat, and there's I think 2 or 3 more nurse sharks that I ran into. And again, just the abundance of these grunts, they were just everywhere. So just schools and schools of them. And it's so nice in the Keys to see that much life. I remember after a couple hurricanes, a few years ago, there was, it was almost no life. There was no fish or anything. But to see these huge schools of grunts and stuff around is just absolutely fantastic. This is when we got right back to the boat. You can see the anchor there and the school of grunts. And it just, again, I love the pictures of these. They just kind of hang there. They're not really skittish. They just get out of your way. But, they just make great pictures because they stick together as a group, and they're very, very colorful. So I'm again headed back to the boat, kind of just making my way back, and kind of swim off to the side. And then here's another nurse shark sitting under a ledge, and I've lost count at that point how many nurse sharks we'd seen that day, but there was like I said, it must have been a nurse shark convention in town. So the really nice diving. The visibility was okay. You can tell by the colors and stuff. I was trying to get some of the white out, but it's very hard, and I've been getting better at it, but it's very hard shooting distance with a video camera underwater and get the colors to work out right. There's red filters and stuff. I know I have really powerful lights, but they don't reach that far in a distance. And I give complete shout out credit to the professionals who do 100% better than I do. I'm still trying to figure things out. So shifting gears a little bit, this is on the Spiegel. So this is actually the port side. There's the crane, and you're looking aft. And there's almost always sharks on the Spiegel. It's just I can't remember diving the Spiegel and not hitting at least one shark. Sometimes you hit a number of them. I had a really good encounter in my other video. If you go look at my channel, you'll see it. Ran across 2 lionfish. So lionfish, they like their backside better than the front, so they always point their backside out towards you. But I hit that lionfish, then it was just a couple of minutes later, I turned a corner, and here's this lionfish. They're gorgeous fish, but they're not indigenous, and they're very destructive to the ecosystem because there's no predators, and they eat the young of the other fish, and they overpopulate. So there's an effort to try and eradicate them because they're not native. This is a moray that was kind of tucked into this corner. It looks like where the bulkhead had broken or the railing had broken. Tried to get a good picture of him up front, but I really couldn't. This is the Duane, and you can see the superstructure. I left this here. That woman, Sarah, was too cold to dive with me, so that woman was diving with me. And the Viz is okay, but you'll see that there's this very large grouper that's going to come up in just 1 second, and it came up and said hi. I mean, I just swam right up to me and just wanted to get in the picture. I think they're photogenic. I think they love getting their picture taken, and this one just swam right up to me and said hello. That is a big grouper. Now you'll see him again in just a minute. I ran when we turned back around and started to head back towards the mooring line. Ran across him again, and you'll see him in front of a door, and you get an idea of how big that fish actually is. So no sooner do I turn the corner than there's just this beautiful sea turtle just hanging there, just kind of flying through. Utterly amazing animals. This one, I think there's a name for them. The boat said that they have a name for them, something Betty, I think. But just amazing. They sleep underwater. They can hold their breath for what seems like ever. They're just amazing animals. And so, apologize for the jittering a bit. I'm kind of turning my way back. and you're going to see that same big grouper come by. So here he is now. You look straight ahead and you see that's a doorway. So that's the size of a man to get through. And that fish is bigger than that doorway. That is a large grouper. I don't think it's a Goliath, just the way it's coloring. I think it's just a large black grouper, but that's a big fish. It was gorgeous. And not to be disappointed by the end in the boat ride home, I don't think in our hundreds of dives we've ever had dolphins that have greeted us and gone with us on the way back. So these dolphins were playing in the wake. The captain managed to see them and slow down and tried to go a speed where they could ride the wake and stay in the wake to where we can see them for more. I apologize, the water in my lens. I had just grabbed my camera out of the water bucket, my underwater camera, and just started shooting. And honestly, I didn't see the water, so apologize for that. But just having dolphins just go along with you and playing was just, utterly fantastic, and it kind of made the end of the trip that much more special. These dives were just absolutely wonderful. Like I said, it was a bit chilly this time of year, but they were absolutely wonderful. And, I'm going to give a shout out to Conch Republic Divers. They always do a fantastic job. Their crew's great. Their boats are great. So I appreciate them very much. Dive safe, guys. Thanks.